My name is Kimberly French, and I created this channel because I want to make personal finance sexy. Let's talk about debt, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about debt. Yeah, exciting. Let's talk about debt. On my last video, I talked about budgeting, and I showed you what my bills were for the month. But it did not include one major thing. A lot of my friends saw my budgeting and saw my bills, and they're like, wow, I would love to trade with you. I would love to take on your bills and you can have mine. One thing they do not know is I have $90,000 in student loan debt.
$90,000.
I understand that talking about debt is probably not the most exciting thing about personal finance, and it's pretty scary. I promised myself at a very young age that I would never get into debt. I remember being a young child and sitting around the kitchen table, and my mom cried because her Goodwill 99-cent jeans, the button broke, and she did not have enough money to replace them. And that is kind of tough and hard to see as a child. When I was 17, I graduated high school, and I moved back in with my mom and my stepdad. And during this time, they had 22 credit cards, and that they were in some heavy debt. So at the age of 17, I did some research on the internet, and I found a debt consolidation program. And with each one of those credit cards, I called and got the balance, the payoff, and the interest rate. And I made a list in order of the highest interest rates and the highest amounts. Enrolled my family in debt consolidation, and they are now debt-free. And so at 17, I was like, I'm never having a credit card. I'm not going into debt. I'm not, no way am I going to put myself through that kind of stress. I was under the assumption that going to school is good debt. That, you know what, it's fine. It's an investment. They can't take it away from me. They also can't take the debt away from me. It is the only thing that you cannot file bankruptcy. I'm a military brat. Both my dad and my stepdad were in the Army, so I was born on a military base. The military brat, most bases offer free education for 2 years post-high school. If your military benefits run out at 21 and you lose health care, if you go to school, you get all that to your 24. So I enrolled at the University of Barton County Community College. This is based out of Fort Riley, Kansas. At the age of 18, I attended my very first personal finance class, and I loved it. I had an A in it. I couldn't get enough. So my bright idea once I got my associate's degree was I definitely want to get to know personal finance just a little bit better. So I thought enrolling in a university. I then moved to Florida, and as an out-of-state resident, I attended FIU because I wanted to be a financial journalist. And I realized that probably getting my bachelor's degree in English wasn't going to pay off in the long run since a lot of things are free online now. So they were charging me out-of-state tuition, which was about close to $600 a credit hour. And so I did some research and I searched around and I was able to attend a private school for the same exact price with only like 20 kids in the classroom, and I got a lot of hands-on education. I enrolled in Nova Southeastern University and I did my undergrad in finance, and I also got a minor in marketing. After I graduated Nova, about 2 years ago, I then enrolled my master's degree. And after doing my undergrad in finance, they don't tell you that they don't teach you anything in personal finance. It's all formulas, forecasting, a lot of hard math, a lot of interesting information, but not necessarily up my alley as what I wanted to do. And currently, I'm a power seller on eBay, and I have been for 4 years. I import product from overseas, and I sell it online, and I offer affordable fashion. So I decided to do my master's in international business because I thought that with importing and exporting, I already had a lot of knowledge in the field. So I'm actually in my last semester, and I'll be done with my master's in December. But with coming the end of my degree, and now they're going to start expecting me to pay back my debt in January. My goal is to pay off $30,000 a year for 3 years. I know it sounds kind of outrageous, but if I was to get a real job making $60,000 a year, and I'm able to split that and live off $30,000 because my bills are very low, there's no reason why I can't throw all that extra money at my debt. I have about $20,000 saved, but that means absolutely nothing because I have $90,000 in student loan debt. So really, I have no money. And I think the problem with debt and when people have money in savings, they kind of forget the fact that they don't really have money and they go out and splurge. And they think, you know what, I deserve this $200 handbag, or I deserve to go out and go on vacation. And they start spending money. They have this false sense that they're rich. Calvary Church in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. They have a program there called the Financial Peace University. And since I want to volunteer in personal finance, I figured let me take the class first and then let me see if I can volunteer and help. Actually, after my second class, I learned that a student loan debt is not very good. I currently am paying 8% on student loan debt. So I look at money a little bit differently. When I think about going out and making a $100 purchase, I automatically add 8%. So it's not really a $100 item, it's a $108 item. Because if I were to just throw that money at my debt, I would get $8 back. So I'd be $8 richer. What I'm going to do on this channel is I want a reason to be held accountable. I want to try a debt snowball challenge where I am able to say on here that I am completely debt free. Nowadays, there is not even a place to put your money where you can get an 8% investment return. So just pay off your debt, and that is better than investing. So if I have $20,000 in the bank, it is actually better for me to put aside 3 months of living expenses, 3 to 6 months. And if mine are almost $2,000 a month, I found out that my 9 month that I need to have in the savings account is about $9,000. If I have $20,000 in the bank, I should be able to right now pull out $11,000 and put it towards my student loan debt. $11,000, and I can times that by 8%, and that's how much money I'll be saving. A lot of people do not pay on their student loan debt while they're in school because it's not required by the government. But now that the student loan debt has actually surpassed credit card debt in America, it's probably a good idea to be paying that back as soon as possible. So next time you're thinking about going out there and spending that $20 on your shirt, try throwing it at your debt, and you'll actually make back $21.60. So you're actually making money in a kind of a weird way, but that's a good way to look at paying off debt. My goal is to pay off my debt in 3 years. I will be 30, 31, 30, I'm getting up there. And a lot of people have asked me, Kimberly, when are you gonna have children? And I'm like, there is no way that I'm gonna bring a child personally into this world with $90,000 in debt. I either want my debt cut in half or I want it completely gone before I even think about bringing a child into this world. But that is my personal take on things. If you like my video, please thumbs up, please subscribe, and let me know down below how you feel about debt.
Pretty scary.
Thank you for watching. If you like, please thumbs up, please subscribe, and remember, personal finance is sexy.